Hey, good morning, everyone. Dennis K here. Today, I want to take you through a scenario. This is a real life scenario taken right from the pages of the emails this week, looking at different offerings and listings on Ambergris Key. And the question sometimes comes up, can I sell my property if I currently hold a mortgage on it? And the simple answer is yes, of course. That's not a problem at all. So if you bought a property a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago and you're still making payments, you can sell that property absolutely no problem. Now, there's one of several ways you can do that. And so in this video, I want to take a look at two different scenarios. One scenario is where the seller wants a cash offer. He just wants the cash up front for the property to pay off his mortgage and just to sell the property outright, put the money back in his pocket, and move on to other investments. The other scenario is if he would want to take a look at being able to offer financing himself and hold a mortgage on this property himself for a time. So, how could this work? Well, let's take a property that is currently listed for 35,000 US. And here's the number. All right. So, the property is listed at 35,000 US. If that seller were to engage an agent, for example, like myself, to sell the property, his fees as a seller to the agent will be 10% plus GST, or just under 4,000 US on the sale of the $35,000 property. Now, in addition to that, he's going to have a small amount of other fees when he goes to close. For example, he might have some property taxes that are prorated, maybe some wire fees, but those are minimal, about 150 bucks for the deal. He does owe about $8,000 on the mortgage. So if he were to get a cash sale of 35,000 upfront after he pays his agent fees, a couple little miscellaneous line items, and the mortgage, he's left with 22,913 in his pocket. That's net. That's after closing. And this scenario would normally take 60 to 75 days to close. Now, the question that he had was, is there a way that he could offer financing to any potential buyers, right? Because the pool of people out there who have 35,000 cash in the bank who are ready to buy a property on Ambergris Key in these certain areas with 35,000, that pool might be this big. Whereas if you can offer financing on the property, the pool of potential buyers now greatly increases. So let's take a look at this type of scenario. Let's say he wants to offer the property financing. What would he have to do in order for him to do that personally? Well, he's got his payoff amount. So first of all, he would have to pay off the original seller. That's $8,000. Upon the sale of the property, you would have to pay the agent fees. All right. So again, just under 4,000. Now he's taking the title now in his personal name. So he's going to have to now pay off the original seller, take title in his personal name, and pay the stamp tax, actually take ownership of the property. And this is necessary if he wants to offer financing on it. So that's going to run him about $2,500. So in order for him to actually now take title, oh, 1 second. Yep. All right. Good. All good on that. In order for him to take title, to take ownership of the property, in order to offer financing, he's going to have to come up with just under $15,000 out of his own pocket. Question is, what if I don't have the $15,000 in my pocket to do this with? Well, then what you can do is you can just ask for this amount as a down payment. So, for example, selling price 35,000 US. Down payment that he's going to ask for is 14,437, which is going to cover all these expenses. All right. So at closing, he's going to get zero money up front, but he will have paid off his loan amount, paid his closing costs and stamp tax, the agent fees, and then on the balance. So if you take the 35,000 minus the down payment, let's just do that real quick because I didn't do that calculation. So 35,000 minus 14,437. He's left with a mortgage or a balance of 20,563. And if you were to offer that mortgage then at 10% for 5 years, the monthly payments coming to him would be $436.90. And if you were to offer for 10 years, it's $271.74. All right. These payments will be made directly to him, just as he right now is currently making direct payments to the original seller. All right. So why am I kind of sharing these numbers with you? Because If a person is currently making payments on a property, he may think to himself, you know what? I don't know if I really need the 22,913 up front. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It'd be better if I sort of, flip that into a mortgage myself so that I can make the 10% on that. Well, here is one way to do it. Come up with the cash, take title, sell it, and then you're making the money. Now, one more thing I might add, what you can do, if he did have let's see, the 14,375, he could offer then even more attractive financing. So, for example, he's already paid off the property, and now all he would have to ask as a down payment were enough to cover the agent fees, which would be about 10, 11, 12%. So he could offer a 10, 10, 10, or a 10, 10, 5, or a 10, 10, 20, or 10, 10, 30 on the mortgage. He can play around a little bit more with the numbers because he has the money up front to do this scenario right here. All make sense? All right. Hope so. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, I hope I didn't confuse you too much. But if you have a property that you are making payments on and you do want to sell the property, uh, get with me. Let me know, first of all, what you're hoping to get for it. We'll take a look at what the actual value might be. And then we'll come up with a game plan. It might be worth it for you just to hold out for a cash offer. All right. So I'm going to use put it out there at 35. If it takes 2 weeks to sell, or 2 months, or 6 months to sell, I'm just going to hold out for the 35. That's fine. But if you want to play around with maybe offering financing yourself, let me know how much you own on the property and your ability either to take ownership, pay all these fees, take ownership, or maybe ask for a higher down payment from a potential buyer. Sound good? All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you watching today. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, let me know. I'm here to help. And hopefully we can do some deals together in Belize real soon. Take care.